All right, so here's the thing. Everybody has been talking for years about this thing called the perfect webinar script. Here's the question. Is it perfect? Is it for a webinar? Does anybody actually use it? The answers are yes, no, and yes. But let's go in a little bit more detail. But really quick, make sure you hit the like button. Let me know what you think of the video and hit the subscribe and the bell so that way you keep getting notifications every time we put out another great video for you. I have spent the last 5 years building hundreds of marketing funnels and systems for over 100 clients, and I can tell you, most of you are skipping the most important part of the funnel build. There is a secret step-by-step blueprint that makes every sales funnel profitable. What is it? That is the question, and this podcast is the answer. My name is Ben Moote, and this is Hack That Funnel Radio. All right, so to be absolutely honest, I don't know when the first time was that I heard of the perfect webinar script. So for those of you who do not know, the perfect webinar script was created by Russell Brunson. After years of selling on stage and learning from the masters of how to sell one-to-many, he created a script that he could follow every time he needed to sell one-to-many in any situation, which he termed the perfect webinar script. So question number one, is it perfect? I'd have to say the answer is yes. I can't say it's a perfect script, but what I can say is that it's made hundreds of people millions of dollars. So once upon a time, you're able to buy the perfect webinar script out of a funnel, and you were able to buy it. It came in this fancy envelope, and you got this piece of paper along with the training on how to use it, okay? This is a very good system. I really like this system. I liked it so much, I modeled it when I created my funnel prospector map. Notice the similarities here. Check this out. For those of you who are on video, very similar. I modeled, I heavily modeled that. All right. So we're not talking about the funnel prospector map. We're talking about the perfect webinar script. The perfect webinar script is a way to present in a way that helps people purchase. This is an amazing system, and it works extremely well on stage and in a webinar. I use this in a talk I gave at church. It was epic. I had people coming up to me afterwards like, what were those 3 secrets again? Every single time it works. I love this system. But Russell stood back one day and he said, now wait a minute. It's not really the perfect webinar script. This is the perfect script. This is the perfect sales script. And so he went and wrote a book called Expert Secrets. I liked it so much, I went and bought a second book. In this book, he teaches how to use the perfect webinar script, period. Whether to run your webinar or to run it as a sales script, run it as a video sales letter, however you're going to use it, this is how you use it. Literally the first 133 pages of this book, the first 9 secrets, are all preparation for you to build out the script. After that, it's how to implement this script right. Doesn't matter what you're presenting in. The script is written so well. The whole goal of the script is to identify the false beliefs that people have and hit them out and educate them on why those beliefs are false. You're not teaching them your thing. You're teaching them why your thing works by hitting out the biggest false beliefs. You are opening doors of opportunity instead of giving information. Now, to be honest, I've heard a lot of slack about this. I've heard a lot of people say, get on my webinar and I will teach you how to make money in 30 days or less. And then you get on the webinar and the webinar is all about, well, I had this hard time and now it's fixed. I had this hard time and now it's fixed. And now I make a lot of money. Do you want to make money? And they're like, yeah, I've heard that. And to be honest, I felt that. I like teaching information because I feel like I'm helping people. If you follow me at all, you know that when I teach, I give you a deluge of information. Like it is a rainfall from heaven. Like I am just going to give you everything I've got, and it's a lot. But the thing is, information doesn't always help people. What holds people back more often than not is your internal false beliefs, which you don't think are false. They're just beliefs, but they're holding you back. For example, I did an episode a couple days ago about my money beliefs and what I was raised, and I just kind of, in my community, what I learned. What was correct money beliefs? They weren't. And I'm doing a lot of headspace work to get my brain out of that, let those go, and adopt new ones. Can you imagine trying to sell somebody on the fact that you can build $1 million business and they don't believe that $1 million exists? Or that they've been told their whole life that $1 million is unreachable? Now, that's not my story, but literally, you have to do this kind of a mind work, and opening up these doors of belief is what makes these customers capable of actually succeeding. It's not about the education. It's not about the information. You sell the information because it is valuable. But the best value you can give to these people is to give them the keys to let them break out of the prisons they have created in their own minds. That is what you teach on your webinar or on your video sales letter or on your just sales letter. You're literally typing it out. That is where you hit all of these. This script is perfect because you hit out the three biggest beliefs. You help them get the keys to get out of the prison in their minds that makes them believe that the promise that you're giving is real. Now, there is a lot of power here, and yes, it can be abused, but you have a product that could literally save someone's life or help somebody, and you're afraid of selling it, or you're not good at selling it. This is what sells it. This is what changes lives. Lets your product actually be taken into effect. This script is perfect. I mean, as close as I can currently find it perfect. Highly recommend it. Question number 2, is it for webinars? We've already kind of talked about that. To be absolutely frank, no, it's not just for webinars. You know, I told you guys that I did it for a talk at church, and I did. I wasn't selling anybody at the end other than the fact that I gave them an action that I wanted them to go and do, which was to start off the day in a very specific way, which is not all that different from how we were told to start the day off anyways, by praying and reading your scriptures. But that was for me. In a church situation, the script worked. Now, I've also used this in a video sales letter, used it in a sales letter that you actually type out. You can condense this down into 5 minutes and make a perfect 5-minute webinar, which has been proven to work in e-commerce really well. This script works. It doesn't matter where you put it. This script works if you do the mind work beforehand. There's a reason he wrote a book about it, because there is a little bit of stuff you need to focus on before you actually get it right. So that way when you hit on all the secrets and you hit on all these things, that this flows well, correctly with the customer's mind to lead them to the point where your call to action is something that they believe is possible. In fact, if I may quote from Expert Secrets itself, on page 150, secret number 12, the perfect webinar, it says, I hesitate to call this secret the perfect webinar because I don't want you to think this script only works for webinars. It was initially created for webinars under that name. But since then, we've successfully used it in video sales letters, teleseminars, webinars, stage presentations, email sequences, and more. It should probably be titled The Perfect Presentation, but our community has adopted the perfect webinar, so we'll keep it the same. You're going to notice ClickFunnels is moving entirely away from the idea of webinars. It's all becoming presentations because of this script. It simplifies everything. So again, yes, it is a perfect script, and no, you don't have to use it in just a webinar. I really think you should be using it everywhere, to be absolutely honest. Question number 3, is anybody using it? Hate to tell you, just about everybody. If anybody has done any research into Jeff Walker, the way that Jeff Walker teaches is very close to the 3 secret steps that Russell Brunson teaches here. He laid the foundation of how you teach 3 secrets and how you teach your core lesson. The launch campaigns were 4 steps. Russell took those 4 steps, he put them into a webinar, created a one-time, one-to-many presentation that can work. Put it all into one. So, has this script been used by a lot of people? Everybody who used Product Launch Formula from Jeff Walker, which he has scaled successfully for years, has used something very similar. People in Russell's inner circle are indoctrinated to use this, and they pay $50,000 or more to be indoctrinated in doing it. And all you have to do is go indoctrinate yourself. Plus, many of the 2 Comma Club Award winners use this script in either a webinar presentation or otherwise. We just did an interview with Jeff Bannock. Jeff Bannock, also called the Funnel Doc, helped create the funnels that would later become 2 Comma Club Awards and 1 $10 million award funnel, and those use the perfect webinar script. And now anytime these people start to sell, they use this script. This script works, and I highly recommend it. Following and understanding the script is literally the answer that everyone looks for in how to sell their thing. To be absolutely honest, a funnel is nothing more than a bunch of pages with a single goal. And then it's the math to try to make sure that works and make sure that your sales pitch is just right. What really sells is the sales message. It's getting people to the point to buy. That is what makes it all work. And the perfect webinar script is the way to do it, even if you're not doing a webinar. Guys, once again, I highly recommend you get this. This is going to be extremely beneficial for you. So definitely look into the Expert Secrets book. I have 2 copies. I'm going to get my 3rd here soon. But if you're going to do a webinar, follow this script. Or if you're going to do any sales presentation at all, follow the script. Just saying, it works. I use it for my clients every single time. Highly, highly recommend it.
Was that cool or was that cool? I want to offer something really, really special here. Do you have a question? Do you have a thought? Is there something that's been looming on your mind and you just want to get an answer? Well, check this out. If you can go to hackthatfunnelradio.com, scroll to the very bottom, you will be able to send me a direct voice message asking your question. And if I can, I will put it on the podcast. I'll literally put your voice on the podcast and I will answer your question directly. That sound good? All you have to do is go to hackthatfunnelradio.com, scroll to the bottom, record your question, and I will get back to you.